Back in December, so it was maybe 3, 4 months ago, we were taking a look at a few different emulation hard drives, these big boy drives, 12 terabyte drives that were being sold on Amazon. That included tons of stuff. PS3, PC, crazy, ridiculous, man. PS2, Vita, PSP, Wii U, Nintendo Switch, crazy, crazy. And then arcade stuff, tons of arcade stuff, even more recent arcade releases. Naomi 2 stuff, Naomi, Techno Parrot, a lot of Sega stuff. It was ridiculous. We were looking at the Ken Hank one, and then this one from Piaprit. And Piaprit, they recently hit me up saying, hey, that 12 terabyte drive we've made a bunch of adjustments to it. We've tweaked some things. We want to send you a new version. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is taking a look at this new 12 terabyte drive from Piaprit, however you say their name. So I'm on AliExpress right now. They do sell it here, and I do believe it's cheaper through AliExpress, $147 right now. It's also on Amazon, but the listing is currently unavailable. I don't know why. They told me that there is some kind of issue. They're getting it back up. There could be many issues with Amazon listings for this kind of stuff. So who the hell knows? Maybe it'll be back up on Amazon by the time this video goes live. No guarantees, but I'll put links down below just in case if you're interested. But let's go ahead and take a look at this drive. So, okay, just like any other drive that you would get with Hyperspin and all this other craziness, this has 6 different front ends on it. Apparently, that's the way they list it. But there's going to be stuff that you have to install. And I highly recommend going through and just double checking everything. This one I've looked at and there is nothing malicious, but I can't vouch for, everything that gets put out there, right? But with this, it was all just basic stuff, just these redistributables. And like I said, nothing malicious. Sometimes with these Hyperspin builds, there's a million different things that have to be installed. And with this, there really wasn't much. It was just this, and that was it. And there is a video on here, I believe, that you could watch that kind of runs you through the install process, which really, it's this right here, this config video. You just watch it. It's a couple minutes long, goes through the whole process, not even fast forwarded. It literally takes 2 minutes to get this thing up and running. It's almost plug and play. You may have already had all this stuff installed because it's typical stuff that a lot of times you already have. So yeah, just take a look at that. And then once you get that going, you go into that core type R, and then you just click core and it loads up. With this little, I don't know what the hell they got going on here with this little intro video. All in Piaprit. Let's go. So the way this is listed, you have all the front ends up front right here. So Playnite is going to be all your PC games. And I did notice between the first drive that we took a look at back in December versus this one, the game list is slightly different. So they probably found maybe problem games and they updated it, is what I'm guessing, because I did notice there's a few omissions and additions type of thing. So yeah, you're getting a lot of stuff that really shouldn't be on here, but they're on here, and they all do run. Holy crap, they run. So yeah, just pointing that out. Stuff like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Elden Ring, Cyberpunk 2077, and then you got some basic Angry Birds stuff. Like, okay, but yeah, they're all cracked PC games. That's what they do in China, man. They sell stuff like this. So yeah, Playnite's going to be for your PC games. Everything's not just in one spot, mind you. That's why it's like a 6-in-1 front end thing. And then you're going to have Big Box. So Big Box and Retrobat. There we go. They're just kind of right next to each other. Big Box and Retrobat is really going to be up to your preference on how, which you want to use, because that's going to be all your consoles and handhelds. Big Box in this setup, from what I noticed, there's a lot of like missing graphics and stuff, so it's not like fully clean, but it is customizable if you want to go in here and clean it up. I found Retrobat to be a little nicer looking than what this looks like, even though I actually do prefer big box for my own build. But yeah, it's going to essentially be the same. It's just going to be up to preference on which one you want to use. But it's going to be all your consoles, everything here. I did notice some systems like this one that shall remain nameless, we can't speak on it, does have more games than the previous drive had. So they have made adjustments. They have made adjustments here with additions and, you know, tweaking things. It is noticeable. They, you know, and from what I've tested in that system, have had no issues. But yeah, if you go into a system here, they should have videos for most of the stuff, for the games and whatnot. And you can tweak this a little more. But if we can exit out of here, any of these front ends, if you exit them, it should just take you back to that selection screen. So then if we go in the Retrobat, Retrobat's going to be a very similar setup, but I just liked it better on this build versus the way they had a big box set up. But yeah, same thing, all your consoles and whatnot. PS3 on here, I did see like Amazon reviews saying PS3 doesn't work. I've played quite a few PS3 games on here, and they all work just fine. So I don't know, man. It's all really going to be dependent on your system too. If you have a weak-ass computer that just can't play these games, that may be a problem. I can't speak on every single game on here that every single game will run, but every single one that I've played so far has ran. And I do have to point out too, controller-wise, I tried using the 8BitDo Ultimate 2C controllers, and those were like wonky. Like I couldn't get them to work properly and everything. But when I just used the Ultimate Bluetooth controller, or any of the other like previous 8BitDo controllers that don't have that extra R button on the top, any of the Ultimate controllers, or any of the Pro controllers like this, they all work fine. But when I tried using like these, the new ones with the R4s and whatnot, none of these work right. Like they'll be kind of funky. So just pointing that out. I don't know what it is, but yeah, PS3 games were running fine. PS2 games, the same thing. I don't know why it's flickering right now, but yeah, there's something going on with the flicker in action. But the games run fine. The games are running fine in here. And the same thing, they're going to have like little snaps and videos. It'll zoom up and give you a little video. And it does tell you up at the top how many games for each system. Some of these systems are going to be overinflated. PlayStation's going to have multiple regions mixed in. So you got to keep that kind of stuff in mind. You will have some arcade stuff in here. Sega Hikaru, but not much in there. Sega Saturn. I tried playing Wipeout, but I suck at that game. Really suck at that game. Holy crap. Even back in the day, I remember trying to play that game. I gave up on it. Oh, and then we got like 3DS, 493 games. That's a lot. I like the way they have this set up with the bezels. All the systems have like bezels, and sometimes you'll have special bezels just for the games and whatnot. But 3DS runs great on here. I played a handful of games, had no issues. Same thing with Wii U. Playing some Wii U action. We had 110 Wii U games there. Those were playing fine. Wii 887 games. That's crazy. But yeah, it's flickering. I don't know why it's flickering all of a sudden. Wasn't doing that earlier. But yeah, there you go. GameCube. Bunch of GameCube games. Played some Resident Evil 4. You know, GameCube runs in a lot of things, so emulation is fine with Dolphin. And now if we go into Techno Parrot, which just kind of goes into its own little subset of like Hyperspin. You'll have a few different boards listed separately, but they'll all be like, the games will be repeated. Like you'll go through each one of these, right? Nesca Live, Taito Type X and X2. You'll see all these games in these different little categories, right? But then you just go to Techno Parrot, and essentially they're just all in there. They have like Street Fighter V arcade versions, pretty cool. A lot of awesome stuff in here. In Techno Parrot, some racing games, you know. A lot of fighting games. A lot of fighting games. Blaze Blue. But yeah, this is going through Hyperspin, so it's very, very freaking flashy. Daytona 3. The cool one. I played that for a little bit. Exit out of here. And then just go to Hyperspin. This is where all the arcade stuff is at. And this is kind of overkill because it's mostly categories, right? Pinball FX3, but you got 93 Pinball FX games. And with the Pinball FX, if you just go in here and you just select a game, it usually doesn't even boot up the game you select. You could just select whatever game and it'll just go into, you know, the pinball front end and you select what game you want to play. So it doesn't even freaking matter which one of these games you select. But all these games are on there. And it's a lot of fun playing them. So just wanted to point that out. You got a lot of pinball stuff. Like I said, a lot of freaking categories. A lot of categories. Rhythm games. All your dance stuff. If you have a mat, you know, USB mat, plug that bish in. Start playing. Some Beat Mania stuff. A buttload of Sega arcade systems. M2 and 3. Naomi. 14 games in here. You're going to have some of the Virtual Fighter games, but then you're going to have Virtual Fighter category that has all the Virtual Fighter stuff. This game, I can't figure out how to play this. This Wild Riders, like it'll be like jump. It'll be like slide. And it's like I can kind of control it, but I don't know what you press to slide and jump. I don't know. What else do we got? All the Neo Geo stuff plus categories. More Taito, a buttload of Taito stuff. Holy crap. Tekken category. Tiger handhelds. I don't remember seeing this one on the previous drive. I may be tripping. But yeah, I played some Sonic the Hedgehog too. This is stupid, but yeah, it's weird that they emulated all this. Street Fighter 2010, they had they actually made a handheld of this? Or is this like a homebrew? I didn't know they made a handheld of that. Weird. But yeah, you got Tiger handhelds. Ultra 64 is just Killer Instinct 1 and 2, the arcade. Awesome stuff. All the different companies, you know, developers, you got everything, man. Everything. This arcade setup in Hyperspin, you got 54,129 games. So between all the console games, you're looking at, you know, around 100,000 games they set. So yeah, we could be here all day looking at this thing, but so far everything I've tried playing has worked. Even Xbox 360, I forgot to stop at that earlier, but yeah, I played some 360, Xbox original. Those were playing fine. But yeah, the one thing to point out is if you buy one of these drives, just like any drive that is set up with an emulation build this big off of AliExpress or Amazon, they're not going to be fresh, brand new drives. They're going to be old data center drives that are being repurposed, right? So could be the luck of the draw. You could get one from 3 years ago, but you may get one from 10 years ago. These kind of drives do have a lifespan, you know, limited lifespan. So, you know, it's, you know, kind of a risk that what you get. It is a cheap drive as far as the price on AliExpress anyway. If you want to back it up on another drive, it is going to be kind of pricey. But yeah, just wanted to share this with you guys. Let me know what you think. Links will be down below. Appreciate y'all. Bye.